To graph a set of ordered pairs, a set of points, it's called a scatter plot. And to use your calculator to do that, you first have to enter your data into lists. To get to the list, we go to Stat, okay, and then we choose option 1, Edit. So you can either type 1 or just hit enter with the 1 highlighted. Now if you have things already stored in the lists, you need to go in and clear them out. So let's just assume we're going to be using list 1 and list 2. It really doesn't matter that I've got data in list 3, but I want to clear that anyway, just to kind of wipe my screen clean. So the keystrokes to clear a list: use your arrow keys, which are here, to arrow up and highlight or dark light the header on the list and press enter. What that does, you'll notice the cursor now is down in the entry line in that list of numbers. If you press clear right there, it's going to wipe out those numbers. Now nothing's happened in the actual list until we press enter, and now they're gone. Now it is really easy to make the following mistake. If you press enter and then delete instead of clear, okay, if I have my cursor down in the entry line where it is, then what's happened is I just deleted a character. Okay, so you could press delete a whole bunch of times and eventually clear out your list. Or, oops, problem, clear, and that's going to wipe out the whole list. Okay, there. Now, if you've got the highlight on that header and you press delete, what happens is your entire list is gone. Okay, list 1 is no longer there. If you do that inadvertently, it's okay. You can get it back by pressing Stat. Option 5 will run the setup editor. Press enter. Okay, when you see the message that that's been done, now if you go back to Stat and Edit, you've got your list back. So we're going to enter our data in list 1 and list 2, and I'm getting the data from the table in your handout. The X list is going to go in list 1. So we're going to start with 54. Okay, and then 65. Okay, I'll do it this way. Enter. 68. Enter. 79. Enter. 82. Enter. And 89. Enter. Now I use the right arrow key to arrow over into list 2 where I'm going to put the Y values. 15. Oops, missed. 15. 21. 23. 31. 33. And 38. Now, the number of entries in list 1 and the number of entries in list 2 have to match. If we're going to pair these numbers up, you have to have two numbers to go together in the pair. Okay, now we're ready to set up the scatter plot. To do this, we go to the Stat Plot menu, which is the second function of the Y equals key. If you look very carefully, just above that Y equals key where my cursor is, it says Stat Plot in blue, so pressing the second key first accesses that menu. I don't really care which stat plot you use. I always go into 1 first. You've got to toggle, get the cursor on the on word and press enter to select on. Make sure the type of your graph is the first option there, the scatter plot. If it's not, then you use your arrow keys to get the cursor in the right location and press enter. So let's say, for instance, let me get there. If I had a connected graph selected there and I want a scatter plot, I get the cursor to be blinking on the scatter plot, press enter, and that's going to move that highlighted box on the scatter plot. Then your X list needs to be set to be L1. Your Y list needs to be set to be L2. If those are not, then the way you can get to that, you'll notice that the second function of the 1 key is L1. So you can get L1 on there by pressing second and then 1. You can get the list L2 by pressing second and then the 2. Then the mark, the last line, is your choice. I like the box or the plus because they're much easier to see. If you choose just the pixel point there, it sometimes is very, very hard to see on your graph. So go with one of the other two. Now, if you simply press graph from here, chances are good we're not going to see a particularly good graph. And you're probably not seeing that curve show up on your screen at all. And that's because I have an equation in Y1. So I've pressed the Y equals button, and I'm going to clear that equation out. Now, pressing graph automatically shows you whatever viewing window was used last. Probably does not show you the viewing window you need, and mine clearly does not show the viewing window I need to see my scatter plot. Shortcut way to get to see your scatter plot and have the window automatically set up correctly so you see all your points is to press zoom and then come down that list until you see zoom stat, which is option 9. So you can enter on option 9, automatically sets your viewing window so that you see all of the points in your scatter plot.